on that rooster. Just one look, now that poor cluck, his goose is cooked. The cow, the owl, and the waterfowl moo and hoo and squawk. Some birds with a feather shouldn't flock together like the goose and the big red cock. Like the goose and the big red cock. Like the goose and the big red cock. Like the goose and the big red cock.
Hello, boys and girls. It's your old pal Van here. And I decided I needed to clear my mind and just sit down at the old desk and figure out a plan, as I am still broke in Alpine, Texas. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into today, shall we? Well, folks, we begin our day high above the city of Alpine, and this is the desk. Now, the desk sits above Sul Ross State University. It was put up here by Jim Kitchen, who was a runner who cut a path up here back in 1970. He kept the desk up here and put a notebook inside, so when he would run up here, he could put his times in. As times have gone on, people come up here and sign their name, and all these notebooks that are inside the desk, and if you look inside the drawers, it's kind of cool. You'll see a whole stack of notebooks, and they keep a collection of these notebooks that people sign down in the Big Bend Visitor Center, which is also on the campus. We're about, I believe, about 4,000 feet above sea level. The desk sits about maybe 350 feet above the campus. It's about, I guess, about a mile and a half trek up the side of the mountain. The first quarter mile, half mile is easily the most treacherous, but not so bad. If you got a little bit of gumption behind you, you can make it up here pretty easy. We look over into the distance. You can see the Glass Mountains out this way. This is headed towards the city of Marathon. And then over on the other side, we can look down on the city of Alpine. Now, your old pal Van spent the night. There's the campus right over there. You can see the corner of that red building is part of the campus. And then over yonder somewhere there or so is the Oyo Motel, where I spent the night. Oyo Hotel. I don't want to bring it down in class a level or two. And then way off over there is where Jose is in his shop, busily trying to repair the water pump in the clutch on the old van, so Van can make it back to his journey. So the town is broken up into two sides, which there's two one-way streets, and both sides kind of serve as a main street. The one side seems to have more artsy things and eclectic stores, and the other side seems to be more hotels and bars and restaurants. And there's a lot of larger markets, no sort of Walmarts or anything like giant corporate whatevers, which I actually myself personally kind of like. I'm not a big fan of the big box stores. I don't like the big box stores, and I don't like to visit the big box stores. So there is the old Gringo Big Bend Biker Hotel. That's where Heather was talking about not only do you ride your bike there and stay in a nice hotel with a coffee shop, you also get to park your bike inside. Before Heather mentioned it, and I had walked right past here, I'm back at Cat Alley, I did not even notice how decked out in murals this place was. I mean, there is some great artistry, and it's not just down here. Pretty much every privately owned building anywhere, as I was saying before, even the dumpsters are decked out in art. I mean, this place isn't even like someplace if you're a jackass with a broken vehicle and you end up stuck, it's not that kind of place. This is the kind of place you'd want to hang out. It's almost like, for lack of a better terms, it is locally gentrified, if that's even a thing. It's like the people who lived here and have always lived here have just always made this a cool place to be. It is pretty freaking amazing. Maybe that's a lesson for those who are worried about gentrification in their own towns. Gentrify that shit yourself before some jackass from New York or Los Angeles or San Francisco comes out and gentrifies your community in their way of doing it. I'm standing in line at Cow Dogs, and there it is, which smelled amazing, and my stomach is grumbling thanks to Heather. And I got a call that the van's ready. And well, I've walked a couple miles, so I need to get back there. So here's what we got going on. I'll let you take a peek. So I've been talking about, I thought it was the water pump. And indeed, it was the water pump. If you remember a few days ago, it looked like this. And now today, if you look down in here, you can see right here, if you see the shiny new piece of metal right there, that is a new water pump right, let's stick my hand down in there. Right down in here is my water pump. And underneath, you can see it even better. And yep, there it is, folks, right there. Now, the only problem with the new water pump was there's a few other things your old pal Van did not anticipate. A few added expenses. The air conditioner here, the compressor, this is the alternator, and then this flywheel is for when the vehicle's idling. That was shot, the bearings were shot. Took it out and you could just hear them kind of grinding when it was spinning. And also on the fan has a clutch. And so when the fan engages, the clutch runs simultaneously with all of the other utensils in the front of the motor. But generally, if the temperature is at a state where it doesn't need the fan, the clutch disengages and the fan spins freely. You see it, the fan spins, except nothing else is spinning with it. So that was shot as well. Lots of added expenses that were not anticipated. But we move on, and we caught it in a good state and at a good time where it could have been a lot worse than it actually was. So now the proof is in the pudding. Let's see what happens. Dun, 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 the crowd goes wild. So, boys and girls, it looks like that's it from here. Alpine was a swell time, but it's that time and Van must go. So, I wanted to take a second to thank Jose and Alba for getting me into town and donating a little fluid so I could get the old van to Jose at Jands, who gave me a good deal on fixing the old van and get things running. I also wanted to thank Heather. Heather, if you didn't see in this episode, was at the visitor center in Alpine. She showed me the light and showed me the way and showed me Alpine was really a city you should get off your butt and go see. As you're driving around, remember, be safe, be kind, do the right thing, and never, never succumb to product placement like good old Voodoo Ranger. Voodoo Ranger, which you sit down in the lawn chair and sip upon when you are trying not to sell out to a sponsor that has not sent you free beer. So until the next time, Lados!
Oh, the poultry pack, till there's nothing left but bones and feathers and a bloody mess. So the moral is, careful what you do, 'cause the status quo gonna turn on you. The cow, the owl, and the waterfowl, moo and hoo and squawk. Some birds of a feather shouldn't flock together like a goose and a big red cock. Like the goose and the big red cock. Like the goose and the big red cock. Like the goose and the big red